Hello. I think everybody understands the importance of getting feedback from your customer base. And sometimes we even go out and we purposely survey our customers with a set of questions to try to get feedback directly from them. I think that's a really good business practice. One problem that I think businesses run into, though, is once they get that data back, they try to tabulate it in maybe a big Excel spreadsheet, but they find it's hard to glean a lot of actionable insights from it. So that survey just becomes something that's a little bit more interesting for them, but they don't get something that they can actually do to make their business better. So what I want to do is show you a Tableau dashboard that is going to distill a customer survey data set and is going to show us some good insights on how our customers view our business. It'll be looking at summaries by different categories. It'll be looking at individual questions, see how the customer responses rack up. And then it's also going to show how things have trended over time. Are we getting better or worse in certain areas? And then ideally, once we're able to look at this dashboard for a few minutes, we have some real actionable things we can go work on in order to make our customers happier and improve our business in the future. All right, so here's our dashboard that is summarizing those survey results. Let me get you oriented with what you're looking at. First up in the upper left up here, we're just seeing some statistics on the survey. So in this case, we had 57 of our customers respond to 15 unique questions. In this case, the average score was 3.2. And what that means is these 15 different questions that we gave our customers, they're actually statements. And we asked each customer to rate each statement from, do they strongly disagree? Do they disagree? Are they neutral? Do they agree or do they strongly agree? So a score of basically 1 to 5, with 1 being a strongly disagree and a 5 being a strongly agree. So in aggregate, we scored a 3.2, which is a little bit better than neutral, a little bit worse than agree on average. And in this case, this customer also conducts these surveys once every 6 months. This is showing that the overall score was up about 16% since the last survey they conducted. Okay, off to the right, we're going to look at the different categories. So we broke this survey, again, this was 15 different questions or statements. We broke it down into 4 different categories. Looking at the beer, we had some questions based on the beer you offer, then the brand. This is the friendliness and knowledgeability of the staff. And then finally, we have like their tap room experience. And then we're going to show for the 57 respondents what percent of them scored strongly disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. So if everything was perfect and every customer loved you, no issues, everybody would be up here in the dark blue. So that's really what we want to get to. And we want to eliminate these kind of yellow-orange colors, especially this darker one. That means somebody strongly disagrees with the statement we put out there. So next to each of these bars, you can see what the average was. So in all these cases, they're all pretty similar, about 3.2, 3.3%. In this case, our beer category scored the highest amongst our customers. Okay, next up is we're just going to look at the different survey periods. So in this case, we're focusing on January 23. So we saw the 3.3, that matches the 3.3 over here, right? They conducted a survey 6 months ago, and in this case, beers were scoring 2.8, so quite a bit worse. And then the survey previous to that, it was 3.6. So we can see how some of these trend over time. And then over here, if needed, we're able to see the percent change between 2 surveys. So let's use this one for an example. So this is showing that the difference between 2.8 from the previous survey and the 3.3 from this survey is about 18%. So that's good. We saw a pretty good increase this survey compared to the last in that category. Okay, so now down below, we're going to be able to get into each individual question or statement in this case that was asked to our customers. So we'll focus most on this first one. So this says, I'm happy with the variety of beers offered. So this obviously falls into our beer category. And then again, like we saw up top, we're seeing who strongly disagrees, all the way up here to strongly agree. And in this case, we scored a 3.3. And then again, same to what we looked at up top, we're seeing how that changed over time. And then over here, we're looking at that percent change. So ideally, how people will use this is you'll take your big Excel spreadsheet that you got back, maybe from SurveyMonkey, or even if you just did like a hand survey. Instead of trying to look through that matrix of responses, if we're able to plug it into a dashboard like this, really in only a few minutes, you can look at it and see how either things are trending good or bad over time. In this case, all of our responses basically are up over the last survey period, so that's good. But then we'll also be able to, on the kind of with a continuous improvement mindset, we'll be able to find some of these categories that are scoring lower than we would like them. So for example, the bottom one on here is one of the lower scores. So that statement was, there is good availability of seating in the tap room. And that's one of our lower scores. And that's probably something we can go action. We know it's something that our customer base has noted. They're scoring that lower than a lot of other things. So let's go try to find a creative way to add some more seating into our tap room to make our customers happy. So that's how this should be used. We really should be using it to pinpoint areas to improve. And then as we conduct the next survey 6 months from now, we'll be able to see how our actions increased in our customer satisfaction scores. All right, so that was our customer survey dashboard. By looking at that for just a few minutes, we were able to get some good insights. First off, we just saw the basics of how many customers responded, how many questions we had, what the average score was. Then we were able to look at each of our larger categories. We had 4 of them, and then see how those are ranking up against each other. And then finally get down to each individual question and see how they're either improving or not improving over time. And then ideally, like I already mentioned, we're using this to find areas that we can improve. So maybe we pick 2, 3 different statements that we're scoring low, and we challenge our team to improve the underlying conditions that would then improve the customer sentiment in that area. And then as long as we're disciplined about conducting the survey on a cadence, we would expect to see improved results on the next survey for those things that we specifically took action on. And this dashboard would quickly be able to point that out. So I hope that was an interesting look at a Tableau dashboard that'll show you some customer survey information. If you have any questions, or if you'd like more information on this, or even to see some of your previous survey information plugged in to see how it would look, please contact me. My email is jeremy@centralcoast-analytics.com. Again, that email is jeremy@centralcoast-analytics.com. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.